good morning, everybody. A quick introduction before I start. My name is Summit Phadke, and I am a Sitecore technical lead at Adapty Solutions. And I have more than 11 years of Sitecore experience, and I am a Sitecore 9 certified developer, and I have experience from Sitecore 5 to Sitecore 9.3 at this point of time. In between, in the middle of the demo presentation, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And it would be good if it's more of an interactive session, so it will be more of and don't feel shy to ask questions. Feel free to ask if you have any questions, concerns, or anything of that sort, and we can go over them today. Okay, so let's start then. So today we will be looking at Ucommerce for Sitecore Developer Insights. By that if you go to the next slide in here, let me just go to the next slide. Yeah. So the agenda for today is, we'll go through introduction and recap. Then we will go through what Ucommerce pipelines are. Then I'm going to walk you through how the products, that is the product information, is getting stored inside Ucommerce. And I'm going to walk through the custom product import, a tool that you can, it's a POC, kind of like just a demo tool that I have right now, but it can be extended for importing products from various sources. And then we are also going to take a quick look at how you can add different promotions. Say you have voucher codes or something of that sort that you want to add to your product catalog or your catalog in general. This is the customization that we will go through, and I'll walk you through the demo as well as the code that I have for this. Okay. So I'm going to escape this and let's just go back. I'll do a quick recap of, let me just open up this browser which has all the things. So for people who had joined earlier, for one of the earlier webinars in February that I had, and as Annie mentioned, there is a blog / this is the SUG Mumbai link where you can take a look at the blog. But just to give the context and start I'm just going to quickly say what Ucommerce is. So Ucommerce for Sitecore is nothing but a e-commerce platform that is easily integrable inside Sitecore CMS, and it is easy to implement. It is cost efficient, and it is also having powerful commerce tools that are in there. And here, these are the setups which we had gone through earlier as to how you can set up Ucommerce for Sitecore on a Sitecore 9.3, right? I'm not going to go through the details, but just want to just give a walkthrough that it is nothing but a similar Sitecore package that you will be installing on your CMS. And once you are installing it, it will do its thing on the back, where it will install some code, where it will install some tables in the database and things like that. And then you will see this Ucommerce plugin or Ucommerce application that is added to your CMS solution. Right. On the top of that as well, we had gone through that Ucommerce also gives you a starter kit or an accelerator package that they call, which is Avenue Clothing website, which is again another package that you can install on the top of Sitecore, which will give you a good look and feel of the website, right? So for example, this is the website which is on my local right now, and this is like a front end of it when I have installed the Ucommerce as well as the Avenue Clothing package, right? So this Ucommerce is nothing but a commerce platform, as I said, which has all the functionality from adding from the product catalog, from adding product variants to adding the things to basket, calculating price based on country and things like that. And then also the checkout flow, and it has certain payment integrations as well that are there for users to use. Okay, so in the course of today, we will not go through the front end flow much. This is and there is a demo site as well that you can take a look at if you want to. If you search for Ucommerce demo, you will get a site which is readily available for you to look at how the front end looks like. But today, as we said, our more focus is going to be on the back end or the Sitecore section of it, right? So if I go back in here, I'm just going to log in again. This is my local instance where I have the Ucommerce installed. So I go in here, Ucommerce settings, right? So this is the I'll just go back to Launchpad. So these are all the commerce products that you get from, applications that you get when you install Ucommerce, right? So in here, these are different settings. So products are here. There are some marketing capabilities, and we are going to walk through these products and marketing foundation, which is nothing but the promotions that they have in here. And then there are these some settings that we have and things like that. Okay, like there are these definitions in Sitecore terms. We call it as like our templates for creating product definitions and things like that. So we will walk through this, but just wanted to set a stage up that this is what their backend looks like, and this is how the Ucommerce is installed. You will get more details as in my blog or in the earlier SUG Mumbai group that we have, that presentation that I had created. So any questions or anything that you want me to go over before I start with the next topic, which is nothing but Ucommerce pipelines? Okay, so let's see what Ucommerce pipelines are, right? So in terms of Sitecore as well, right? Sitecore has these bunch of pipelines, right? Wherein basically it is nothing but the, as you can say, series of tasks or like series of what you say, like things that needs to be done, and that needs to be executed sequentially, right? So it is, similar to Sitecore, even Ucommerce has like the pipelines, wherein there is a configuration file, right? Which is nothing but, it will similar to how our Sitecore pipelines are. And then there is going to be a code file, right? Which is nothing but like a C# file in our case. And for inbuilt pipelines or inbuilt whatever the flow pipelines are currently in Ucommerce, they have a compiled code which you will get in their DLLs only, right? Similar to how we have in Sitecore. So you have all the like redirect resolver and blah 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 inside Sitecore, right? So similarly in that, Ucommerce also has their their code files, and there are a bunch of configuration files that are there, right? So if you think about a product flow kind of thing, right? So as you can see, and when you are trying to perform any kind of commerce operation, you will need to add basically a product to the basket, right? Then you will have to place an order, right? Then there is like a checkout thing that is happening. So there are a lot of other pipelines, but few that are important are add to basket, order, and checkout pipeline, right? So whenever you add any product to a basket, right? Say for example, I go in here and I add this, I select my quantity, I select this, and I select the color, and I add to basket, right? So when I add to basket, there are a bunch of tasks or bunch of sequential things that needs to happen, right? And that is how that sequential flow is handled by the pipelines inside Ucommerce. Okay, so now where are these pipelines located, right? So if we go back to I'm going to go back to the code in here to just show you. Let me see, UC93. So Sitecore modules shell, right? So whenever you install a Ucommerce package, right, all the files that the package installs are stored under this folder. Sitecore module shell Ucommerce. Okay, and in here you can see there are these pipelines and there are these apps, right? So what these apps are, we will look at it later, or I'll explain you later. But if I go to these pipelines, right? As I said, there are a lot of pipelines in the entire checkout flow. That is the entire product catalog flow, starting from your PDP, PLP pages onto the basket page, onto the checkout page, and things like that, right? So these are all the pipelines that you can see, and there are other pipelines as well, in Ucommerce. So I have, as a part of this, I have opened up like a couple of config files already in here. So we'll go through like few things, right? Add to basket and basket checkout quickly. So when we are talking about add to basket, right? So for example, as I said here, when I go back and click on add to basket, there needs to be certain tasks that need to happen on the back, right? So if I go, so in the config, so when I click this add to basket, right, on the back, there is this add to basket pipeline that will be executed sequentially, right? So as you can see here, there are a lot of tasks that are getting sequentially taken, right? So for example, if I add any product to to my basket, I need to create an order line item, right? Then I need to increment the quantity. If I am changing the quantity from 1 to 2, then I need to calculate the unit price. Then I need to do things related to pricing and tax calculation, right? And then if you look in here, their last step that are doing, that are executing the basket pipeline, right? Which is nothing but Ucommerce way of saying that, okay, I mean, execute the pipeline such that all these tasks will be executed one after the other. Okay, so this is nothing but like the initial portion of it, and these things are similar to what we have in Sitecore, right? Sitecore pipelines as well, with wherein we have sequential what is execution of the tasks, right? So each of these things in here, right? So for example, if I see calculate unit price, there is going to be a corresponding calculate unit price in here, and it will say what kind of class or what kind of type it is, and where is the namespace and what DLL it is coming from, right? Similar to what we have in Ucommerce, in Sitecore. So this is like, and this is again out of the box. This is nothing that I am creating custom or something of that sort. This is how the add to basket pipeline works. Okay. Also, then the second thing we can also quickly go over is the checkout pipeline, right? So now, I mean, let me see if this will work because I have not tried it. Let me add to the basket. Great. So I mean, so if you see, I have added to the basket. So now when I have added to the basket, my basket pipeline got executed, right? And until this loads, basically this will show me the basket page, and it will go through the checkout process, right? So in here, I mean, until this loads, I can show you how so this is nothing but the checkout process that is going to happen, and that is going to happen at the end, where you are doing the checkout, right? So in here, if you look, I mean, when this pipeline is triggered, it is basically going to follow these steps, right? Like, okay, once you are validating that the payment is made against the order, there is like it assigns order number to the order that we have, because all these things needs to happen once there is a successful payment, right? That's the reason why assigning order, converting the basket to the purchase order, all these things will happen after the payment is validated, right? So if you look in here, I mean, these are the steps that are generally followed. So each of the step has its own significance, or does what it needs to do, right? And if you look in here, last thing here is like send confirmation email, right? So I have commented it out for now because I mean, on my local, I don't have any emails or anything of that sort. But I mean, I'm showing you this specifically because there might be a case, right, that you might need to customize you don't want Ucommerce to send out emails through this pipeline. You want to add your own custom email provider, or like email code, or an email pipeline, right, that you would like to add, so that you can override that as well, similar to what we do inside Sitecore, right? So we will not go through how to customize this pipeline, but I'm going to show you how you can customize or override the pipeline code or any of this code that is present in Ucommerce by default.
Okay. Sumit, one question, if
yes.
I may.
Yes, sure.
So is this like a execution is when we are expecting a response on a page, or it's offline execution? It looked like to me that it is all happening before I paint the next page, right? So wouldn't that be a little less? It's not good from the user experience point of view. What do you say?
No, it is happening on the back. So for example, I mean on each or some of the controllers, right? When you hit the final pay, it is happening on the back. Like when you hit continue, basically all the steps are taken into account, and then it basically goes through the final process. Okay, it is complete kind of thing. So on the button click, or when I say you, I mean when the code or Ucommerce code, right, is calling that pipeline is executed. So for example, in here I can show you this is the Avenue clothing code, and I mean so these are the functions, right? So this is what you need to call in order to this is just the example of a basket pipeline, but but yeah, I mean, when you go through all these things, I mean, Ucommerce internally calls these basket pipelines, which will then execute or does the processing on the back, such that adding the data to the databases or validating things or redirecting the user to the email page or confirmation page, kind of.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Hope that answers. Yeah.
It does. I mean, my only worry was that if it is happening in line with the execution, the UI execution, then it might be an issue. But it's not. Okay.
Yeah, it's not. It's happening on the back. I mean, it's not going to slow down the things for you. Okay, cool. Anything else? Okay, so now next thing, I mean, we can quickly go over is this apps folder, right? So the way, I mean, similar to how we have in Sitecore, right? We patch things if we need to override something, right? So so here, I mean, in terms of Ucommerce, they have it structured in apps, right? So if you see these apps, these are all nothing but like the custom patches that they have added in order to override things in order to override things which will override the actual or like default function of Ucommerce, right? So by that, what I mean is, as I said earlier, right? If you go here, sorry, this basket checkout pipeline. So for example, you don't want this particular send confirmation email, right? You want to use your confirmation email or your confirmation email logic and your confirmation email package, right? Or so in order to override it, right? So the way we will have to do it is in apps folder, right? If you see, all these are the folders that they have, right? And we are going to take a similar example where they have overwritten the search. So they have this, you've seen, if you go to the configuration, right? So this is how they patch things, right? So if you go in here and if I edit this file, this is the product index, not this one. So here in the indexes, right? And this indexes, they have this product index file, which I have already opened over here, right? So so this is the product index definition that they have, right? Which is using this own definition or it is using out of the box index definition from ucommerce.search, right? So similarly, I mean the way we can patch things inside Ucommerce is you will have to create an app. Okay. So similarly, I mean say for here, right? So I have this or they have created this app called as ucommerce.search.lucene.avenue, right? And if you want to override certain things as they have done it over here, right, you will have to add a config file. Okay, you can name it whatever you want to name it. Naming is not like anything restricted, but important thing here is this ID that you are seeing, right? Products index definition. This needs to match with whatever thing you need to override, right? So the normal execution will be it will first execute whatever it is, but if it finds an corresponding app item inside the apps folder, then that thing will be overwritten, right? Maybe it is more complicated that I'm talking, or it's simple but I'm making it more complicated. But basically the thing is, if you want to customize any of the component or if you want to customize any of the app, right, you'll have to create an app folder like this. I mean that's a recommended way. I mean, if you want to put that config file, I mean in the web config or in your any config, that's fine. Or overriding the actual files as well is fine, but it's not recommended because when you upgrade it, all the actual files will go away, right? Same thing what we do inside Sitecore. We don't update any actual files, we create patch files for them, right? So in here, if you look, I mean, if you want to create any new component, this is how you will create. You have the configuration, right? There is a components node and component ID. This needs to match with what component you want it to be overwritten. Okay. And then if you look in here, they have created this custom file. This is not like a Ucommerce file. They have created this custom overwriting file that is going to override the things, right? And I'll show you what this file looks like as well. Is it in there? No. Avenue product index definition, right? So basically they are overriding it by adding few more details in here. I mean, it could be anything. I mean, as I said, for emails as well, you can create a similar app in here. You can point the configuration to whatever your email DLL is or email classes, and in the class file that you are writing, instead of using the Ucommerce out of the box email functionality, you can use your custom email functionality, your custom SMTP implementation or things like that, right? So I didn't have the email example. That's why I just wanted to show you this is how you can create a custom app similar to what you do in Sitecore, but only thing that you need to keep in mind is the ID needs to be same, and as per their recommendation, you can create an app which will be outside of your actual file, that will prevent in future if you upgrade anything, it will not be broken or anything of that sort. So this is how, like, a quick quick walkthrough about how you can create apps. I mean, if you go through Ucommerce documentations, I mean, they have like a bunch of documentation related to pipelines, and as I said, there are multiple pipelines, but due to this demo, and and due to like, we can only go over a couple here, so that's why I just wanted to go over a couple just to show you how the flow is. But if you can go to their API documentation, you will find like all these things, more details about pipelines and things like that. Okay, any questions, anything related to the pipelines? Yeah, and they are, I mean, if you think about it, they are similar to your Sitecore pipeline overrides that you do. So yeah, but just wanted to highlight it over there. Any questions? No. Okay. So next thing is we will now go through the next point, wherein Ucommerce custom implementation, right? We will look at so in this, right, we will take a look at what is present on the back end from the product's point of view, right? And I have created a simple utility. Again, it's like a just for the demo purpose. I mean you can make it much more cleaner, much more as per your requirements, but this is like just for the demo purpose, where, say for example, I have a CSV file, right? And these are the attributes for now I have added, right? You can extend it, or you can reduce it, or I mean based on the requirements, but these are the attributes that I have, right? And then these are the 3 products that we will be trying to import in the system. Okay, so before doing that, I mean, I'll take a quick walkthrough about how products are getting stored inside Ucommerce, right? So I'm going back to Ucommerce screen here in products. Okay, so if I go to tops casual, for example, so this is the shirt, right? So this is the product. So if you look in here, I mean the definition is the shirt, right? So this is nothing but, in Sitecore terms, template, right? So if you look in here for each, so there is a separate template for shirt, right? When I say a separate template, it will have its inbuilt fields plus some own set of fields that you can see in here, right? So it is not something that similar to Sitecore. We have template and we have fields. So if you go to this particular product, which we are seeing, which you can go through products, and this particular product, since this is of type shirt, it will have all this basic information. So basic information comes from out of the box Ucommerce, and we don't have to do any kind of fields or anything for that sort, right? This is nothing but the standard fields that we have. And then there are some, as you can see, show on homepage, brand as few, right? So show on homepage, brand are, I mean these are the custom fields, right? So these are, when I say custom fields, these are the fields that are not out of the box in Ucommerce, right? So you'll have to create a field in here, and it will be displayed on all the products that are having shirts in here, right? So let me see why color is not showing here. Okay, I'm not sure why. Okay, yeah, so these are the fields, right? If I go back to products, tops casual, this was the product that we are going through, right? So this is what we have right now for the shirt, right? So now how things are getting stored in the database, right? And I'm going to go back to database here. Okay, and so when you install Ucommerce, these are all the tables that are in here, right? So there are, if you look for product, right, there are I mean, the way Ucommerce structures things is, for products, they only, if I go and just select top 1000, for example, is it loading or what? Okay, so if you look, I mean, the way they have structured it is, they are only storing like basic information in this product, right? Product table or whatever they call it. but each product you can have a custom attribute as well, right? So for example, the brand that we have, and you can find it in here. There is another table called as product property, wherein each product will have its own properties, right? So if I go back in here, yeah. So this is wait, product definition field. Sorry. Yeah, so these are the custom fields, or you can say like custom properties, right? So why I wanted to show you this is because, I mean, from the front end, right, even if you see that all this information is shown as one view, right, that on the back end, all this is not stored in one table, right? Like for example, each product is having its own price, or it is stored in a different table. Okay, like what is the product ID and price ID kind of thing. So the whole point of me walking, I mean, at least showing you what this is the front end view and the back end view are not exactly the same. By that I mean, for one product, the information that you are seeing for a particular product is not present in just one table. It might be present in multiple tables that are present in here. Like product is there, product price, then there is this product definition field, and product where did it go? Product custom property, a product property. These will have the fields that you have created, right? So now what I'm going to do is, so this is all about products. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go back in here, and this is the CSV file that I have. Okay, I'm just going to show you an example. Okay, so this is the CSV file, and for now, I mean, we are only going to populate these fields, or this SKU number, name, display on site, right, and other things. And then these are the three products. I mean, just for the random test purpose, I have created. Okay, and now I'm going to go to the browser in here, and this is like a simple utility tool that I have created. Again, not fancy, it is just for the demo purpose. So basically, I mean, these are the two things that we are going to go through today. So now, I mean, so this is the CSV file as I showed you, right? And now, and if I go back in here, under the products, tops, casual, you're only seeing one product, right? So now if I go in here and if I click on this product import, okay, so it's success product import, right? Now I go back in here, I go back to products, tops, casual. Now you can see that the three products that were present in the CSV, right, are imported in here. So I'm going to go back in here, and if you look in here, all the attributes are also added, like display on site, which is here. So for example, if you go to this SW3, display on site is turned to false, right? So if I go, I'm going back in here. So if you see, display on site is false, right? And then all the information, whatever we are telling them to add through the code, I'll walk you through the code, but I wanted to show you the demo first, and then we'll walk through the code, right? And all the pricing information and the brand that I have, right? So all the information is getting displayed on the front end, which means that the import is successful, and it has imported the properties that we have told them to import. Okay. So now, I mean, any questions before I go to the code? But like if you have anything that you want me to show again or something of that sort. But otherwise, I'll go back to the code to show you how we have imported the data from CSV and how we have created these items inside Ucommerce.
If you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourselves, please. All right.
Okay, I say that's fine for now. But in middle as well, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Don't hesitate. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what I'm doing on the back is, so here you can see, right? I mean, I'm going to go back to this product import helper. So and we'll just do a quick walkthrough. I mean, don't worry about these things. These things are just for, I'm taking the data from the CSV file and I'm just looping through it. And for each record, I'm doing a save product, right? so this is where, I mean, this is just, I mean, you can use whatever method you want to use to import it, but before that, I mean let's just go to see what this product data contract is, or the class is at the bottom here. So as you can see here, this class is containing the fields that we have, which is nothing but matching what I have in the Excel sheet, right? I mean, as I said, if you are trying to create an import which will have like 50 attributes, I mean you can add in here, or you can make it more cleaner kind of thing. But for now, we are only going to use these 7-8 attributes for adding, right? And then what we are going to do is, for whatever records that we have, we are going to save it, right? So if you go to the definition of implementation of this, so by default, I mean, Ucommerce provides you, I mean there is this iSession provider object which you can create, and these are the entity framework. I mean they have their own entity framework classes that they have. If you look in here, it's Ucommerce.entities v2.product, right? Similarly, for product definitions, they have these things. So I'm showing you this is because these things like product definition, or like price group in this, I mean, it matches with the tables that are in here most of the times, right? So that's the reason why I wanted to explain you earlier that that the data is not stored in one location, right? So that's why when we are doing an actual import, we will have to do something like this. That is, whenever you are importing a product, right, you are mapping them correctly as to where the data should be, right? So in the product class or product object that they have these data, right? So what we are doing from the code is, we are getting one record that is nothing but this one row from here, right? And then we are mapping them, right? Say for the SKU, I am putting it in the SKU, the name I am putting it in the name, which is nothing but, if I go back in here to the product, the product, I mean, the product table has all those things, right? So I mean so that's where we are storing. And then this is the product definition, right? So now we need to associate this product to a certain definition, which is nothing but the template what we called, right? And since we are associating it to the shirt template, right, that's why you can choose using these functions that they have, object dot single dot default, and you will get whatever definition it is. That is nothing but the template item inside Sitecore, what we say, right? And then there is another product dot add product description. So some of the attributes like culture code, display name, short description, long description, that you are seeing here on the front end for the product, short description, long description, are getting saved in this product description table on the back end, right? And then there is this price group as well. Just from the demo point of view, I mean I have used minimum quantity as 1, and like price also as like whatever it is. But the culture code also you can specify. There are like different. You can use the culture codes or the country codes that are present inside Sitecore for this as well. So then there is this price group where you can add the price for a particular product. Then there is this category. So 71 category in here is nothing but belongs to that casual category that we saw in here. So this particular category, casual, right? So this is where we are saying it to add. So then I mean so you have this category object that you get, that is telling the processor to add the product in this particular category. And then there is a relationship table which is inside Ucommerce, which will relate a category to the product, right? And then there is this property called as brand, which we have. But since this property is the custom property, it is not like out of the box property that all you can see over here. That's the reason we have, and that's the reason. I mean, this is how you can add it in the table. And when this code is executed, basically what is going to happen on the back end is, we saw this product definition somewhere, right? Product definition, product property. Where is it? Yeah. So this is where it is getting added, right? So you are adding a value, and you are adding like what field you want and what is the product, right? So for this product, this field, this is the value. this product, this field, this is the value, right? So this is how Ucommerce has structured it. And you need to do this because the data is not stored on the backend in one table, as I mentioned earlier, right? So once you run this, there can be a lot of optimization. You can play around with it to make sure that it is doing what it needs to do. But this is like a very basic flow where I wanted to show you that whenever you want to import, you will have to first get it in the format that you want it to be imported, that is in an object format, and then you will have to map all these things correctly in the appropriate Ucommerce fields that are mapped to the database. And for all the custom properties, you will have to do something like this, wherein you are saying, like, format this product, this is the value, this is the field name, and this is the value, which will then update the data in this particular field, right? And then once you are done with all these things in here, adding product, and then in the end you save the product, right? State session.save. So in one save, all these things will be automatically getting saved in the database. Okay, so this is what a very simple way to import products and doing the mapping inside your code, such that you are mapping it correctly, such that from whatever file format that you are importing, it is adding the data in the appropriate fields inside Ucommerce and appropriate database tables inside Ucommerce. Okay. And again, if you want to go through, there are a few documents here where they are actually showing you how you can do it, kind of thing, the same thing that we did, but the documentation is only showing you a part. But this is something that we have to do in order to make sure that at least the basic things. And I wanted to just add one custom property, so that adding more is also similar to this. So this is how you will be able to do the product import and import the products from the CSV. The reason I'm showing this is because from out of the box there is no import tool or import functionality that Ucommerce provides, and that is one of the reasons, because in most of the projects that we work on, generally the product catalog or products are being migrated from an existing system to this system, right? So there is no inbuilt tool to do this kind of import, but you can quickly write up something with whatever requirements are, and make sure that the products are getting imported for the first time, or if you want to create a job, that's fine as well. But this is how like a basic overview about how you can get the products from the CSV or get the product attributes from the CSV, tell and map them correctly in Ucommerce, tell Ucommerce what for template you are going to use, what price group that is, do you want it to be in pounds or dollars or rupees or something of that sort, and then you can also say what category this product needs to belong to, right? And this code will help you in importing your data from any external source that you have, and it will import the data for you. Okay, any questions or anything that you want me to go over, or any other thing related to this custom product import?
So does it follow any pipeline thing? How does it basically make sure that whatever passes goes to a bucket and then whatever doesn't? How does it handle the ingestion of data and meaningful reporting of errors?
Yeah. So this is, so it doesn't handle it. You will have to, in your custom code, you'll have to write more details, like for each product. You will have to write more loggings and things. So since it's like a completely custom tool, yes, this is not like a production ready code, but
Sure.
But good point. So in order to save product, maybe you can add more loggings or try multiple times to make sure that things are looking correctly, and add more logging to say which product it is failing, or like add it to another text file in the log saying that that it is there. So yeah, that is something that I should have done, but sorry, but that is overall, you will have to add more logs and get it like to the place, like you have all those fails, to figure out what products failed and things, because I only had like 5 products. Yeah, but in actual
Right.
scenario, I mean, you'll have thousands of products. So
Right. I mean,
yeah,
essentially,
good.
it's a
Yeah.
framework. It's not a solution. It's a framework. You customize it, you extend it the way you find fit, and
Yes.
then go
Yes.
on with that. Yeah,
Yes.
I got that.
Yes. Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's why they have provided like an open-ended API and those entity frameworks, so you can use it and use it to import the products the way you want it and all these things. Yeah, I mean that's one thing. I mean, if they don't have anything out of the box, so this kind of issue generally is going to come for most of the projects that are using this, because there is, yeah, because like content authors are not going to manually create products, at least for the first time, kind of thing, right? So the production ready code will have all the checkings and all the details that you need, but this is just like very basic flow, or a happy flow, you can say, in here.
Sure,
But
got that.
in most of our projects, at least I've seen, there's so many different sources. It's hard for these guys also to come up with some sort of unified connectors or importer tools and all that. It's not that easy because there's so many products to cater to, and a lot of
Yeah.
legacy databases is something we come across quite often, right? So
Yes.
that's
Yes.
probably the reason why they're not investing any time in that, and it makes sense to just have the APIs and let people do whatever they want with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Sure,
and it's
good
a good
point.
point,
I agree.
because if this feature, I mean, since this feature is not present out of the box, I mean, sometimes we need to take this into account when we are architecting things, or when we are estimating things for a certain area of the site, if this particular plugin is being used. So that was also one of the reasons why I wanted to show this, because there is certain customization or certain import jobs that you will have to implement. So while architecting or while doing estimates, I mean some things that the team needs to keep in mind as well. Okay, any questions, or should we go to the next thing? Okay, cool. So let me go back in here. So similarly, I mean, the one we saw now is for importing products, right? So the next thing that we will see is similar kind of implementation, but now in this case we will see importing the voucher codes, right, for promotions. So quickly, since we have like 10-15 minutes, I will walk you through how promotions are in Ucommerce. Maybe I have done it earlier, but I'll just walk you through, and then the basic funda is same here. That is I have an CSV file where I have a voucher code, right? And there will be these product IDs which are nothing but SKUs that we have. Okay, and this is also going to be like it could be one of the requirements, because currently, I mean, if you take an example, there is a current application which will be using their voucher codes on the live site, right? But say if we implement the application in Ucommerce and they want all the voucher codes that are pending to be used, right? That is like all the voucher codes prior. So say for example, today the site is going live with Ucommerce, then there are still going to be pending voucher codes in their old system, right, which they still want to utilize, but they want to migrate it over to Ucommerce, right? That is not, I mean, again, there is no out of the box way to do it. So the way we, or at least I have in here is, I mean, we can have these voucher codes and product IDs, the pending voucher codes and product IDs, in such Excel sheet, and then we can use a import tool, or like a sophisticated version of the import tool which I'm going to show, and the product vouchers can be automatically imported inside your Ucommerce. Okay. So before talking about import and things, I mean we will go through the promotions quickly. So generally, promotions inside Sitecore are present in this marketing foundation area. Okay, and I'm just going to show you this one, for example, right? So the promotion inside, and these are again out of the box promotions. There are a lot of out of the box actions that you can do. There are some awards that you can select as well, and on the back the actual processing will be done by Ucommerce engine. So in here, I mean, advertise is nothing but, I mean, if you want to advertise something on your website, that with a pop-up or something, that hey, if you are purchasing this particular product, if you're purchasing this particular product, you will get 10% off or $10 off on an amount. then the act is nothing but they call it as an action. Okay, as in if you see in here, there are a lot of things that you can do, right? So here, I mean, if you look at this, they have selected this product or these bunch of products, right? And then I'm just going to keep this open for some time, like, so you can select, like, if you want to perform any action, or basically this is nothing but the condition that you are going to apply in your rule, right? So whether you want to do any have any condition on categories or any condition on products, or whether you want to have any promo codes, that is nothing but the voucher codes that we are talking about here, right? And these things. So as a content author, you can select that, okay, I want to use this promo code, and if you use this promo code on this particular product, for example, right? So then then the actual award or actual action that is going to happen. So they have these inbuilt actions as well. Okay, you can of course customize these actions or add more new actions to this, but we are not going to cover that as a part of today's webinar. But there is definitely a possibility to add new awards or new custom awards in here, right? So basically the flow in promotion is going to be, you create a campaign, right? So this is nothing but demonstration, is nothing but they call it as a campaign, right? A campaign can have multiple campaign items in here, which is 10% off kind of, right? Each campaign item will have will exclude advertise for now, because that's not something that we are going to do as of now. Then we have some actions, right? When I say action, you can specify what rule you want, right? Say for this particular, in this, what they are saying is, if I purchase this particular product, right, black and white, whatever that product is, then give me an award of $10 on my order line total, right? You can choose whether you want to give award on order line total, or you can choose whether you want to give amount of the entire order or things like that. Okay, so this is, and again, I mean, these are different kinds of promotion, these are different kind of conditions that you can select. Okay, and now I mean, again, I mean, this is like a brief overview of how promotion is. And in promotions, you will choose a rule, which is nothing but you will say, for these products, that is, if in my basket I have any of these products, then give me 10% off, or 10 amount off from my total. Okay, now, I mean, what we are going to do here is, I mean, similar to this CSV that I have another CSV, similar to what I showed you earlier, but this is for the products that we have created. All right, so what I'm saying is, for this SW1 product, I have three promo codes, right? SW2 product, I have 2 promo codes, and SW3 product, I have only 1 promo code, right? So the intention here is to again reduce the time to copy over the voucher codes, or as I said, right, if there is any other repository or other place where the client has all this information present and they want to migrate it over, this is like one of the ways to do it, right? So if you see in here, this is what I have right now. And if I go back, I will go back in here. Where is that? This one, and I'll just run this, right? So when I run this, it is showing me success. So now if you see in here, you are not seeing any of the campaigns, right? So I'll just refresh this. So you see this campaign promotion which we created, right? And in here, so firstly, we created this campaign item, campaign called as campaign promotion. Then we created, and in each campaign you can specify what is the start date and what is the end date of it as well, because if you want to run a particular promotion for a 1 month or 1 year or something of that sort, you can specify this. So once it is done, it will automatically disable that particular promotion, okay, or campaign in this case. And then if you look in here, SW1 is the product, or this is the name of the campaign item that I have. So these are the 3 campaign items that we have created, right? So as I mentioned you, right? So as a part of this, what we are saying is, if my product is SW1, right, which is nothing but this product, then these are the 3 promo codes that you need to import, right? So if you look in here, as I showed you, I mean, there were 3 promo codes for this particular product SW1. There were 2 promo codes for SW2, and then there are there is only 1 promo code for SW3, right? So looking at this and looking at the CSV, right? Of course, I mean, these percent values and all, we don't have it right now. I mean, I have hard coded it in code, but that can be configured as well. Okay, so basically I wanted to show you that using the import job or import tool that I have, we are creating these promotions where we are saying that if the product that is selected is this red shirt, and if I am applying this voucher code, right, which is C76543, then give me 100% off on my order line. Okay, so this is how it is. Any questions before I go to the code to show you how we are importing these things, and what are the different tables that are associated here as well? No. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to go back. I mean, I have similar promotion helper import that I have created. Okay, and the initial steps are again the same. You don't need to I mean worry about this, or you can implement it the way you want it. But the basic logic here is I have, I'm scrolling down in here. So this is my data contract where from the Excel sheet I am taking in voucher code and product ID, right? And these are some configurations that you were seeing on the front end, right? So I'm saying my campaign name should be campaign promotion, which is nothing but this one, campaign promotion, right? Then I'm saying that my product catalog group ID should be 14. That is nothing but what product I'm using, right? Validity is for 100 years. That's what we have. Award name is 100% off, right? This is nothing but the 100% off name. And then you as I said, this percent off. For now, I mean, I have hard coded this to 100, but you can change it based on whatever percent you want to give off or something of that sort, right? And here voucher target name is promotion target, right? So these are all the settings that I have in here. And then if I scroll up, okay, so again this is and let's see, yeah, so import voucher codes, right? So this is the function. So first, when you are trying to import a voucher, as we did here, we will have to first create a campaign, right? Which is nothing but this campaign that we have, campaign promotion. And for I mean, Ucommerce has this campaign table where you can create a campaign, right? And here we are creating a campaign and adding it to the Ucommerce, and then we are saying we are creating a campaign item, right? So when you go to create campaign item, for example, so this is the campaign item, which is nothing but for each row in your Excel sheet, which is nothing but this is a campaign item, right? So basically this is the campaign item, and it will loop through this particular row that you have in here, right? So what it is going to do is it is going to create a campaign item as we are seeing in here, and it will say when it was who created it, what is the priority of it, what the name should be, and the created date, modified date of it, right? So this will create a campaign item on the back end. Now the third thing is create. So wait, let's go back in here. So we went through create campaign, we went through create campaign item, right? So create campaign is nothing but Ucommerce has a campaign table where you will have to enter the data. Again, create campaign item is nothing but it is another table which is showing you what campaign you have created. So basically first function that we saw will create this campaign promotion item. Then the second function that we saw will create these individual items like SW1, SW2, SW3. Okay. Now the third thing, if you go in here, is so you have created the campaign, you have created the campaign items, and you have added those campaigns to the you have added those campaign items to your campaign, right? So that once that is saved, now you will go to the create award function, right? So if you go in here, this is the create award, and this is so as we saw in here there are different types of awards, right? There is percent of order, there is percent of order line, there is amount of order line, right? So if you look here, Ucommerce has separate tables for separate things, right? So I'm using this particular call or this particular object because my award that I want to import is percent of order line, right? So if I want to, if instead of that, if I want to use some different thing, then you will not use this percent of award order line award. you will use something else like percent line. Let me see if I can get what it is. Yeah, so if you see here, you will have to use this percent of order total. If in your case, instead of using, you don't want to give any order, I mean percent of order line, if you want to give percent of an order, you can use this. Or if you want to do any kind of shipping order total, percent of, I mean you can give it in here, right? So why I'm saying this is, this particular object you are not going to use always. This is only going to be used if your award, or if the type of the award that you have is percent of order line, right? So each one has a different award. So now if you select in here discount, I mean percent of shipping total, right? If I want this campaign to use this particular award, then I mean my code should use this percent of shipping total, right? This instead of the percent of order line that we have. So I mean the only point in showing you this is, this particular function will be different based on, it is based on what kind of award you are trying to configure for your product, for your promotion import, right? And then if you look in here, these are the two functions. Okay, let me go back to awards. So once the award is created, right, you have create product target and create voucher target, right? Again, these are nothing but these. If you look, create product target and create voucher target, these are nothing but if you go back in here, these are the two things that we have. This is a create product target. Create product target will create this particular condition. Create voucher target will create this particular condition and import it. Okay, so in here, I mean the actual functions are not that big, because if you look in each of them, they are actually initializing an object and associating values that you have either imported from the CSV or are from the settings. So I'm not going through the each function, because if you look at each function, it is doing nothing but initializing the object and associating like whatever things you have in your settings or coming from the CSV at this point of time, right? So since you have a product target, that's why you are creating a product target in here. Again, if you try to do something else in here, you don't want products. If you want something related to say shipping methods or something, right? So then or like product catalog in this case, or categories. So there will be a different target for each one of them. I can show you in the database as well. So this was the product target. Campaign. Yeah, so you see category target in here. So if you have a condition where you don't want to specify any rule based on product, you want to specify a rule based on a category, right? So I can add this in here. So if you want to say, okay, if any products belongs to this category, give them X% off, right? So then if you are using this condition, then you will not be using product target, you will be using the category target in here, right? So here you are, so similarly, so in here you are doing a product target, and then you are using the voucher target as well, right? So if you look in here, here is the loop that I have, which is basically taking from the CSV what all voucher codes are associated with that particular product. That is, in this case, for SW1, it will take this one, and this one, for example, and that's when it is associating it to the voucher target in here, and it is saving that target, right? So in any promotion that you are doing, you will have to specify, you'll have to create a campaign, you'll have to create a campaign item, right? Then you will have to create the target. Number of targets is dependent on what your requirement is, but if you want to create a product target, which we have in here, and a promotion target, you can use these product target and voucher target functions, and create award will be used for creating this award on the fly and associating it correctly onto your campaign item on the backend. Okay, so this is how you can use import. You can use your custom code to import the voucher codes as well from the CSV file. Again, actual functions are not that. I'm actually calling in just the objects, initializing the objects and associating the correct values for it. But the main thing that at least I found it difficult was to find out what objects to use and how to integrate it, right? Because that's where like I struggled when I was actually looking into this for the first time. So that's why just wanted to share with the team as well here that actual functions are not that big. I mean they are just initializing things, but how and what needs to be called and what should be the order is something that might be a little tricky to figure out here. So there is some documents about creating awards and things, but you won't find the detailed document. Unfortunately, there is not, or there is no tool that will out of the box tool similar to import that will do it for you at this point. Yeah, so this is it about the custom order promotion. I mean custom voucher code promotion that I have. So do you have any questions or anything that you want to discuss before we wrap it up?
I just had one thing, Sumit.
Sure.
Is there any rather tool or plugin or something available or internal features itself regarding taxation for if you have like different rules for different categories of products, and for how would you handle it for a multi-site situation where different countries have different taxation rules and stuff? Is anything there
Yeah. So
built in?
yes, there is there. So I mean, let me go back in here. This is the product import that we have, right? In here, so if you look here, the way Ucommerce structures things is in terms of price group, right? So each price group will be having its own. So there will be like an entry for each price group and for each price, right? So you can let me see if I can show you in the database. Yeah. Right. So this is the price group that you're talking about. So for example, if you have two countries, right, and for Europe you are, for the country Europe you are using this price group. For US you are using some different price group, right? So when we talk about price group, so this is nothing but, it says like apply 15% tax. Say if you are purchasing an order in US, you can create a different price group, and that will have a different VAT rate for that particular country, right? So you can use this, and then if you look at the price in here, select. Yeah, so you can have like multiple prices for multiple, different prices for different price groups, right? So if you see in here, there is an amount for this particular price group, there is this amount for this particular price group, right? So if you want to associate, and if you go to the product, so product will have a price. There is some place where it's the price ID is also there. I don't know whether it's in product or in description. No, that's not in here. Maybe it's in product description. No. So basically how it works is you can create different price groups for different countries or regions that you want, and then you can associate different users to basically different amounts to different price groups, right? So this is and there has to be a product price relationship somewhere. Yeah, here product price relationship, select. Right, so if you look in here, this is the product ID, and this is the product ID, and this is the price ID, right? So you can have one product which will have multiple price IDs, right? That is a product A will have its price ID for US, its price ID for UK, its price ID for India, or something of that sort. And then in this particular product price, I'm closing this. In this product price, right? Product price, you have the product and the price relationship. Price, you will have a price and a price group relationship, right? So and in the price group you have you can choose different ones. So you'll have to use a combination of price group, price, and the product price relationship to tell Ucommerce what kind of price group that particular product belongs to.
Okay, and it can be done even based on product category for a given country anyhow, because it's anyway on product level. We can set it that way.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you can set it. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, how granular you can get with, but definitely, I mean, since it's a database on the back end, you can definitely write something custom to do something like this.
While importing it itself, we can probably set up some roles and
Yes.
stuff.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Because if you look in here, I mean, while importing, I'm just specifying directly to be 6, right? So in your case, maybe you can, based on your culture code, you can select what price group you want your product to be basically associate price to, right? So you have the culture code with you. Based on that, you can modify your condition in here to tell if it's UK, use this culture code. Sorry, use this price group ID. If it's US, use this price group ID, kind of. And then if you look in here, you can loop through this. I mean, say if you have two price groups or two prices for US and UK, then you can loop through this and add multiple entries in here, such that you will get one entry per group and culture combination.
Cool. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so that's it from me, unless people have any questions. I mean, here are some reference links which you can use. I mean, these are a couple of my blog posts and earlier I mean, webinar that we had, and these are some of the links from Ucommerce itself. Okay. And do you have any other questions? Feel free to ask me now, or if you have any, if you find anything later, if you are actually working and if you get into this kind of situation specific for this particular product, feel free to contact me at the below. I mean, and whatever below information that you are seeing. Other than that, yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me now or later as well. Once again, I mean, thank you for joining in and listening to me and on Saturday afternoon. So thanks once again. Thank you.
That's great. Hi, Sumit. This is Krishna here.
Yeah. Hi, Krishna.
So I was going through all of those, and I have a bunch of a question, and I really wanted to ask this question at the end of the session.
Sure.
I'm kind of exploring all of this area of the Sitecore. So I was moving towards the commerce side. So I'm really happy that you have this Ucommerce session. So So my question will be very basic because I'm totally new to the Sitecore. Okay, please don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
So I want to understand whether this Ucommerce or Sitecore Commerce, are those two a different thing or just implemented?
Yes, they're different.
Oh,
Ucommerce for Sitecore is a completely different package, different module, and it is installed as a separate product itself. So and Sitecore Commerce is the commerce platform or the commerce product that Sitecore has, which is integrated inside Sitecore itself. So these are two different platforms, but I mean, Ucommerce for Sitecore can be used to use the CMS XP functionality of Sitecore, right? And for commerce, I mean, it's a separate module altogether that is not supported by Sitecore. From my understanding, it's a separate product altogether. So Sitecore Commerce and Ucommerce for Sitecore are two different products.
Okay, I got it. And then my next question would be, the way we have analytics for the Sitecore, so do we have also analytics for the Sitecore Ucommerce with respect to its commerce facets?
Yeah, so they have. I mean, I have not explored it, but if you look in here, they have analytics and dashboard as well, right? So if I go to dashboard, they have these things in here, like they show you how many orders you have and things like that. But since this is the connector for Sitecore, you can definitely use something custom to add more analytics details to it and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have like much insight into in analytics for this particular module, but there is definitely, I mean there is definitely, you can customize it to use it for your pages.
Okay. My next question would be, so I was going through all of the search things. So I saw that Sitecore Ucommerce making use of Lucene search. So can we make use of another search?
Yes.
Like
yes. So in here, right, I mean 9.3 Ucommerce. So we are doing a demo on Ucommerce 9.3, right? That was Lucene search. But if you just Google around, I mean, I think April or May, Ucommerce released the new version for Ucommerce 9.4, where they have included Elasticsearch as well in it. So you can, I mean, similar to Lucene, you can use Elasticsearch, and they have created or modified their search such that it is going to be more global in nature. So if you are installing latest version of Ucommerce, you have Elasticsearch as well configured out of the box.
That's great. I do have a couple of more questions.
Okay.
So I want to know, in a Sitecore, whenever we create an item, it's often a Sitecore store is an item fashion. So do we have any fashion for the Ucommerce items? Are those a Sitecore item or totally different?
No, they are not. They are not Sitecore items. They are Ucommerce items, right? They are not related anything to do with Sitecore in here, right? So they are Ucommerce item. So what Ucommerce does is, I mean, if you go in here, hopefully this will load. But anyways, I mean, long story short, I mean, what I want to say here is, actually items are not present in your Sitecore when you are creating products or when you are creating any kind of items in Ucommerce, right? They are not stored in Sitecore. They are stored in their own Ucommerce database that we saw here, right? But from the but from your Sitecore content editor, right? Ucommerce provides you just the view of those items, right?
Yes, correct.
They are just the virtual items. They are not the actual items. So if you make any changes, like if you go in and delete an item or something of that sort from Sitecore, it is not going to have any effect on the Ucommerce. So always your approach should be make changes in Ucommerce, and it will automatically be reflected in your Sitecore content tree. But again, those items are not present in Sitecore. Those are present. Those are virtual items which Ucommerce gives you just the view to show you how the products are present in your Ucommerce.
Okay, got it. So there's another question. So since we were talking about the pipeline, so I want to know how is the order of the overriding pipelines? Is it the same the way we have for the Sitecore?
No, so I mean, when you say order, right? I mean, Ucommerce has its own set of order, right? So, for example, I mean, first it will go to add to basket pipeline, then it will go to order pipeline, right? So they have their inbuilt order set, right? So, for example, in Sitecore, right, you have say if you want to you have an item resolver pipeline, right? So in item resolver pipeline, you know when that is going to be executed. I mean, when I say Sitecore pipeline has a certain sequence and at that point of time it will execute item resolver pipeline, right? Similarly, Ucommerce also has its set of sequential set of tasks or sequential set of ordering that will happen, and like based on that ordering, wherever that component will be, like say for example email, right? That's when that task will be triggered.
Oh, that's it. Actually, I was talking about the patching thing.
Yeah. So patching. Yeah, so patching is nothing but I mean, if you think about it, when you are talking about patching, you are basically telling Ucommerce is so patching will happen afterwards, but before the execution, right? So where is it? So this one, right? So this is the products index definition, and this is your custom component that you created, right? So this component will, I mean, Ucommerce will internally figure out that this is the patch file and this is the product index definition. So whenever Ucommerce is running its pipeline, right, it will override this particular component, right, with whatever you have added in here, right? So it is as good as you are executing it, something like this. So this is the out of the box, right? So basically what Ucommerce will do is Ucommerce will delete this and use this one, right? So this will comment this out and use this one. It's similar to what you do. It's similar to what you do in Sitecore as well. I mean, the patch file actually overrides your actual file, and it uses its own component. I mean, as I said earlier, reason we don't want to modify this directly in the out of the box patch file, out of the box file, is same as Sitecore. In case of upgrades, all the things will be deleted or overwritten. So it's always good to have a patch file like a component similar to this, and you can add it in here. But from the execution point of view, Ucommerce will take care of overriding this particular action or this particular task with whatever you have in the apps folder.
Oh, great. Yeah. So now I have my last question. So this is
Sure.
final. So since I have seen that you have created your custom import, okay, helper.
Yeah.
So let me compare it with the Sitecore. So for the Sitecore, whenever we want to do something in an item migration kind of thing, we make use of a serialization. So since I guess you have created your own import helper, I guess there is no concept of serialization in this Ucommerce, right?
So I mean, my question is, why do you need serialization here? You have a third party system. It could be anything, right? Basically, the point of customization here is to import the data that is not present in your system, right? It could be an Excel file, it could be another database, it could be a CSV file, or it could be a text file, whatever it is, right? So now, I mean, that is one system. I mean, the Excel file or whatever it is, or a database. You want to import all that information into your system, right? So this particular custom tool is acting as a middle layer, where it will get the information from whatever source file you have. It could be in any format. You are going to customize it to match it to the whatever format you are expecting or Sitecore is expecting, and in this case Ucommerce is expecting, and then you will map it and basically save it at different areas of the Ucommerce database that I shown.
Yeah, that's great.
Since you are not doing any kind of migration between Ucommerce here, right? Because because there is nothing called as item inside Ucommerce, right? I think you're coming from a point that you want to migrate an item from Sitecore A to Sitecore B, but we are not doing any migration of items here. We are creating new items based on whatever information we have that is coming from the third party source. As I said, it could be Excel, it could be SQL, anything of that sort. So this is kind of a middle layer framework that you will have to create in order to import, and it could be a one-time job. It could be like a scheduled job that you want to run every week or month. I mean, you can schedule whatever you want to do based on the requirements.
That's it. Thanks so much, Sumit, and really glad that we had this Ucommerce session. And I would be very glad for my future reference if you could upload your import helper to somewhere to your blog. It would be help us to understand the database structure.
Okay, yeah, I will do that. I'm not sure, Annie, if there is any way to do it, but we can take it offline. I mean, I can check with you. Otherwise, I'll upload it in my blog or somewhere.
Yeah. Sumit, just one more thing. When I had worked with...
Thanks, Krishna. Yeah, Annie.
When I'd worked with Ucommerce before, I think we had faced one issue where we're trying to add products or something to TDS that did not work, and for some reason when we tried it, it kind of corrupted the database. I understand that these are not Sitecore items, but is there any other way of sharing these products across developer instances?
So I mean the only way that you can do it is share the database itself, because ideally, I mean, there is no way to send the products, and there is no way to serialize them as well. So I mean I know, I mean, this is little like difficult to do. I mean, maybe something that we can explore as to how, if we can create a utility or something of that sort. But since the products are not in Sitecore, right, they are just the virtual representation of what is in Ucommerce table, and they don't have any way to do it. So the easy way could be, I mean, creating like similar import export functionality. If it is just from the developer point of view, I would suggest sending the databases over, because that's what at least we did for the project. But yeah, I mean something to think about. I mean, good point. I mean, maybe we can check, or I can check in my free time to see if there is any such thing where we can serialize or send over the items or check it in kind of thing.
Okay, so this includes like the product definitions and stuff like that as well, right? We don't have a way of the product definitions and things like that. So all of that is included in the Ucommerce DB only, right?
Yeah, everything is in the Ucommerce DB. I mean, it only gives you the reference. I mean, we have templates and things like that's mainly for the front end, like showing the PDP page and showing the PLP page, like for example in the Avenue clothing website as well, right? So if you go to any of the page, right, this PDP page, for example, I mean that the front end that you are seeing in here is nothing but the Sitecore. Basically, your PDP page is going to be a Sitecore item, right?
Right.
So they are doing some resolving internally to map it to the correct PDP page based on the URL structure and stuff. But these templates are something that you can serialize, so that the at least the template section is serialized. But from the items point of view, I mean at least I did not get any way to sync it or serialize it or something of that sort. So we just generally either copied the databases or something. Yeah.
So the product structure where we have created like the fields and stuff on the product, that can be serialized.
Yes, that can be serialized.
Okay, it's only the product content as such that we cannot serialize.
Yes. So yeah. So if you go in here, templates. If
Those
it
are not
loads.
magic products. Those are actual items.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right.
So templates are there. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. In here, templates you will see the templates for each of these categories and things like that.
Cool. So it's mainly the content for which we
Yes.
need to
Yes.
move the things across.
Yes. Yeah. So if you go in here, templates. If you go to user defined, Ucommerce definitions.
These can be changed in the Ucommerce console itself, right? The definitions.
Yeah. So that's one thing, right? Please make sure that you are not touching anything in here. Whatever change you have to do it in the Ucommerce interface, and it will automatically be reflected in here.
So there's a difference in the way it's treating the definitions versus the actual products, because we can serialize these and not those.
No, it's not. See, ideally speaking, this is also virtual, right? But this is, yes, there is a difference. Sorry, there is a difference the way it is treating content and it is doing these things.
Because I remember when we tried adding these things to, and this is like old version of Ucommerce connector and stuff. When we tried adding things to TDS, it would just corrupt the entire database, and we would have to like detach and attach the entire thing again and stuff like that. So I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I wanted to know
Yeah.
if that's still
So
the
this
case.
is
Okay.
Yeah. Ideally speaking, even this is also you can sync this, because this is what we did, and just exclude the content from any kind of syncing, similar to what we do in other Sitecore things. We sync the templates, but content is not synced.
But if we don't want to update these in Sitecore, then if I sync it, I don't want to sync it back as a developer. I wouldn't want to sync it back in Sitecore. It would be a better idea to get it from the database itself, right? Because if you don't want to update things here, it's not good not to put it in TDS. Okay, cool.
Yeah, to be honest, we could, the simple thing could be we could write some SQL script or some, because from my understanding, they are handling most of the things back in the database only, right?
Okay.
Because the functions that they have and things like that. So there could be like a SQL script that can get you all the information from the table or things like that.
Right. Okay.
Because as you said, right, if we add anything related to this in your either Unicorn sync or TDS sync or whatever, TDS or Unicorn sync, the issue is it might have some conflicts or things with the IDs and things like that, and it might throw you some errors which is not easy to figure out and fix.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Cool. Anything else?
Okay, good.
Okay, I think that's it then. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And see you soon.
Sumit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sumit, and thank you everyone for attending.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.